Unai Emery got the best of Mikel Arteta. Paulo Fonseca falls at the hands of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It has been an interesting night of Europa League football. Hello and welcome back to OmniFoot TV. This is your host Omar, and today we're going through another late upload to react to the interesting first leg semi-final encounters between Villarreal and Arsenal and Roma against Man United respectively. Let's kick this off with Roma against Man United. To say that Man United deserved to win this game is quite the understatement. They put 6 past Roma. 6. Cavani scored twice, Bruno Fernandes scored twice. It was quite the field day for Ole's men. But honestly, that second penalty, not really sure about that. Second penalty in the game, because Roma got the penalty early on, and then United got the penalty after a supposed challenge on Edinson Cavani late in the game, which Bruno Fernandes converted successfully, as he usually does. Despite how fast-paced the game was, it was obvious that Roma were trying, but they didn't really try hard enough. United's link-up play was quite good in midfield leading up to attack. They were obviously much more mentally invested in the game than Roma. Now, as disappointing as this may have been for Roma, they honestly brought this upon themselves. They made some really bad decisions in their own 8-yard box. They weren't as organized and as compact as they should have been. It was not really fun to watch. They really lost their cool and lost their patience. And then they just kept trailing and losing more and more control of the game as it went on. And it reached a point where United were treating it as more of a friendly. Cavani's first goal, though, that was really good. Ole said in the post-match interview that he doesn't necessarily view this as a job done, but at the same time he's quite assured that they've booked their ticket to the final. And it obviously looks like they've booked their ticket to the final. It's almost impossible for Roma to come back down from 6-2, 4 goals. They'd have to score 5 in the next encounter. Now on to Arsenal and Villarreal, which really makes this an interesting night. So you would expect Arsenal, the better team on paper, to do much better than Unai Emery's Villarreal. And, well, Emery, despite the fact that Emery left Arsenal, he's obviously still haunting the club to this day. He spent almost 2 seasons at the club and left after a huge amount of turmoil in the locker room. He had obviously lost the players. A lot of things just weren't going right for him. And then as soon as he took over Villarreal, everything started to blossom. The first goal was a solid low strike into the bottom left corner, and the second was a classic poacher's goal by Villarreal captain Raul Albiol, who's currently 35 years old. Villarreal had a corner to take, the ball was crossed in, passed over, or rather flicked on, for an unmarked Albiol to come in from the side and score one of the cheekiest goals I've seen in a while from a set piece. That's good to see. Despite the fact that Arsenal actually tried to start the game off the right foot, they just failed miserably and couldn't recuperate throughout the entire encounter, and then they lost a man. At which case Villarreal took complete control of the encounter. They were much more organized, they were much better passers. The team was so well glued together, so well organized. Players knew exactly where they were position-wise. The positional awareness of the players in relation to themselves and each other was quite good to watch. The composure on and off the ball. They just knew what they wanted to do and they went out and did it. And now Arsenal have to claw their way back from a 2-1 loss. It is also worth noting that Arsenal have lost their first European semi-final in close to 12 years. The last one they lost was in 2008 against Manchester United in the Champions League, on United's way to the final. It's quite ironic that United are the ones who have booked their place in the final, in that regard. It remains to be seen whether Arsenal can actually mount a comeback or not. As for Manchester United, they're already heading to the final. And with that, I will close off tonight's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was a pleasure doing this. Once again, being much more consistent has made this a lot more fun. We have a lot to look forward to in the upcoming weeks. Do us the favor of following us on our social media accounts. The links are in the description below, and I will see you next time the whistle blows.